Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl, Mide the one and only, and you guys are back watching another episode of the Mide Show. Woo, woo, woo. Hope you guys have had an amazing week. Hope you guys have been blessed and whatever you've put out there has come back to you. Remember, I keep telling you, if you put out negative energy, it's gonna come back to you. Yes, hope you guys have had an amazing week. Before we get started, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's grow this platform. Tell a friend to tell a friend, all of that good stuff. And let's get into it. Today, I am drinking some Chardonnay. I'm in my bougie bag. Yes, let's get into it. Welcome to this part of the show called The Gist, where I will be going through everything that's happening in our society, whether it's locally, nationally, or globally. Let's get into it. First on the agenda, we have the up-and-coming TV show Badderz UK. Oh, God. Last week, I said I was indifferent to it. I wasn't really sure the direction that it was going on. And this week, they have confirmed, solidified my answer. It is a motherfucking no from me. Now, I am all for Black people creating shows and being in creative spaces. I've said it numerous times. I'm all for it. However, what I am not for is the inciting of violence. I love the messiness. I love a bit of drama. I'm not going to say I don't. But when it starts to become violent and we're doing things that just don't really represent us very well, I'm going to have to say no. Now, with this Badderz UK, there hasn't really been a clear trajectory on what the show's actually about. We've just been seeing Snapchat clips and things like that, but I have been trying my very best to follow what's going on. And from what I have gathered, it's a mess. A fucking mess. Lani wanted Renee, Miss R Fabulous, to come onto the show. She initially said she wasn't going on the show, then she said she was going on the show. You know Miss R Fabulous, she's just all over the place. So we didn't actually know what was going on. And then we found her to be in Croatia. The next thing we've seen is that there was someone called Shelly who was meant to come onto the show. Shelly arrived in Croatia and was meant to get transportation by Lani, who apparently left her in the airport. And I think this is where apparently things went south. I might be missing parts of the story, but a lot has been going on in such a short time. It's been hard to catch everything. Apparently, Shelly and Miss R Fabulous had a laptop that belonged to Lani, so they proceeded to go to the villa that they were staying in to get their goods back. However, Miss R Fabulous said that Lani came to her villa to attack her, but it went wrong for her and Lani ended up getting beaten up. This is a motherfucking mess. It's so distasteful. Honestly, it is. I'm so sorry to say, it is very distasteful. On Lani's story, she shows a whole host of pictures and videos of how they basically ruined the villa. They've put scratches on the TV. They even bent a whole frying pan. Are these baddies or Hulk members? How did they bend the frying pan? What the fuck is this? This is absurd. Anyways, Lani then proceeds to go onto her Instagram story saying how she was doing everything in her power to make Renee like her, to make Renee be part of the show. She was even going against people that Renee didn't like. Lani, how many times did I call you? Baby, I think you need to go to therapy. I love Lani. I think she's so funny. I've said it before on the show. There's previous episodes where I've said that I enjoy Lani, but this right here is not normal. It's not normal, babe. For you to want someone to come on your show, you start disliking people just to appease that person. That is not normal, babe. And I'm not saying this to get at you. I am saying this because you need help, okay? Anyway, she goes on to start saying how, you know, she wanted the show to succeed and X, Y, Z. For me personally, it seems as though Lani had an idea to create a show, but there was no plan, there was no method of execution. It was just one of those things where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have this show, let's do it. Who are the girls that I can call up willing to come onto the show? And it clearly went left. I mean, I'm not opposed to the idea. I said it last week. However, I do think that it needs to be well thought out. It needs to be planned. You need to have contracts in place. So if anything goes left, you are protected. You need to do business properly, not just waking up on a whim and saying, oh, hello, hi, I'm going to create a show today. I'm going to go and collect people that I know have a bit of clout and put them on the show. No, because it will end up like this, where they're breaking frying pan. How do you break a frying pan? Anyways, I am not for this show. I mean, if it comes out and it looks well presented, then yeah, I'm gonna watch it. But from what it's giving so far, it's giving hot motherfucking mess. Yeah. A lot of people have been talking about the baddies on the show. Like, they've been like, where are the baddies? Where are the baddies? But I think they look quite good. Lani is a beautiful woman. You know, she's a mess, but she's a beautiful woman. Miss R Fabulous, when she gets her shit together, she looks good. Rain Doll doesn't look possessed here. That's a good look. She actually looks quite pretty here. The gassed up lighties, I mean, this is not my style. So I can just say, I'm just gonna move on. This guy, Emil, I believe his name is. I mean, he just looks like a pretty boy. I don't know who this girl is. Her makeup looks good. Her hair looks decent. She looks all right. This girl here probably looks the best to me. I don't know who she is, but she looks like Ivory and Doll to me. They resemble each other, I think. I don't know who this girl is, but she looks all right as well. I mean, they're not like top tier baddies, but they're all right. But anyway, it's a no from me. But who am I? Just a lady on the internet. What do I know? Moving on. So the Receipts podcast, one of my absolute favorite podcasts, have announced that Milena, one of their members, is leaving the podcast after 7 years. This is gutting news. I absolutely love the dynamic between all three of them. I'm an avid listener. Every Wednesday, I'm tuned in. Not sure how it's going to be now with 2 members on the podcast. It would be very interesting to see if they're going to bring someone new on. I literally am one of those people that when I listen to the Receipts podcast, I literally stop the podcast halfway through there when they're speaking, and I chime in. I give my own opinion. Like, let's say they're giving a dilemma and I'm like, yeah, but don't you think that? So I would be a great addition. Yes, I'm plugging myself. But it's a shame that Milena's leaving. She brought such a different perspective to the podcast. I loved how she spoke. Very delicate, very gentle. It's a shame to see her go. I'm assuming, I don't know, I am assuming that she is leaving to pursue her music career full time because she is a singer. But whatever she is, whatever reason she has left the podcast for, I am wishing you all the best. All my love goes to you, Milena. You are absolutely amazing. Just hope that you succeed at whatever it is that you're trying to do. People in the comments were saying that Tolly and Audrey bullied Milena, which I don't think is true. I've been listening to this podcast for the last 4 years and I never got that. I definitely think that Tolly and Audrey are closer, and that you can see that from their Instagram, from their dynamic on the podcast. But bullying is a strong word, and I don't think that it's fair to even push that out there. I think that they just had more of a stronger connection than they did with Milena, but you could still see that they were quite cohesive together anyway. And like I said, it's a shame, but wishing them all the best. I hope the podcast still goes from glory to glory, from heights to heights, because I thoroughly enjoy that podcast. But wishing you guys all the best. So we have Lady Leisa, who has been accused of attacking her ex-girlfriend and ex-girlfriend's ex-girlfriend. Yeah. Allegedly, what has happened is that Lady Leisa, her ex-girlfriend's name was Sydney, and her ex-girlfriend's name is Shantae. So Shantae has left Sydney's house and is driving to work at 5 a.m. in the morning, where she gets flagged down by a car and is asked to help. As she slowed the car down and gotten out of the car, Lady Leisa has appeared and jumped into the passenger seat of Shantae's vehicle, proceeded to shout at her and ultimately attack her. As Shantae has put her hands up to defend herself, Lady Leisa has gone in to bite Shantae's hand, allegedly. In the midst of this happening, she's called her current partner at the time, Sydney, who also happens to be Lady Leisha's ex. Sydney has come to the scene with their dog, her pet dog, and a whole hoo-ha has erupted and they've had an altercation. This all happened last year, October. Lady Leisha then proceeds to bite Sydney's ear. She just was biting everybody. I don't know if she thought that she was Mike Tyson. I'm a bit confused. I would have never expected this from Lady Leisha. From what I've seen Lady Leisha to be, mind you, I don't really follow her like that, but from what I hear about her in the blogs, she seems quite positive, seems quite, you know, good-spirited and things like that. So I would have never in a million years thought that this would be happening. Like, she would be attacking people, attacking her ex-girlfriend and her ex-girlfriend's partner as well. It is all a mess. The trial is still continuing. She has been let go from BBC One Extra. She has been let go from Loose Women. It seems as though her career is plummeting, which is a shame. But when it comes to violence, these are the type of things that tend to happen. You know, we spoke about Drea Mack when she attacked her ex-girlfriend as well. And ultimately, the consequences are going to be quite intense. Drea Mack and Lady Leisha are both, you know, lesbians. And I'm not saying that domestic violence doesn't happen in every single community, but that's just the food for thought, you know? The trial is still continuing. We're going to see what the results are, but it is not looking good for Lady Leisha at the moment. Someone can't make up nerve damage in their hands, do you know what I mean? She's claiming that she was bit by the dog and XYZ, and she was also attacked. It's a whole mess. But like I said, I will keep you guys up to date on the story. Moving on. There's a new show that Paul Bridges has created called, what's it called? Calculated Couples. And I haven't watched the show, but from the gist of it, he's got couples to come on to try and talk about their experiences, to give him advice, to help him. I don't know what the actual concept of the show is. Maybe I'll tell you guys next week when I actually go in and watch it. But that's not the point of this commentary. The commentary that I want to make here is this Pastor Onyeka. Now, he is a pastor that I've heard about in the past, but I guess his name is popping up a bit more recently. And he has quite interesting viewpoints when it comes to the Word of God. I think, personally speaking, with the Word of God, I think it's very open to interpretation. Everybody kind of picks and dissects it how they want it to complement their life, if that makes sense. And when he speaks about certain things, I think he speaks from a very African uncle perspective. An African pastor, traditional cultural way. I don't necessarily think that what he says is wrong. I think how he articulates himself is wrong, or it's incorrect rather. And he says things that just come across very sexist, come across very misogynist, come across very, go into the kitchen and cook for me. That's the kind of energy he puts out. In the latest episode, he is talking about it is bad for you to let a poor pastor lead you. Now, whilst I don't necessarily disagree, again, I just think how he says things is just always off. You need to progress and you need to learn how to speak in a very, not a sensitive way, because I don't like to enforce that hypersensitivity, but you just have to speak in a very polished way, I would say. And I don't necessarily think he does that. It's even something that I'm learning, because I've been told that I'm quite rude. But I'm learning to be better. It's not going to happen overnight, okay? So there will still be certain situations where I'm rude. I'm working on it, okay? But with Pastor Onyeka, I just think that certain things that he says, it's just like, please, sir, just pick your words a little bit more wisely. Anyway, as I was saying, him saying, would you follow a poor pastor? I don't actually disagree with what he's saying, because they say, would you take advice from somebody that you wouldn't swap lives with? If you wouldn't take advice from a poor pastor, or a pastor that's teaching prosperity, but then life is not prosperous, it's kind of like, hello, hi. Why would I be taking advice from you when clearly your own life doesn't promote what you're preaching? So I get his point. However, again, I just think he doesn't articulate himself very well. I will be watching the show and seeing what Mr. Paul Bridges has to say. You know, in the past, I've given him multiple side eyes. Maybe that side eye will come back this time and I'll give him good eyes. We shall see. But that is that for calculated couples. So Will Smith has broken his silence on the Jada Pinkett Smith situation in regards to her spilling all the tea. And he has said that she's his best friend and his life partner, and he will respect and support whatever decision she makes. I mean, I personally think some of the things that she's saying I will stand by what I'm saying. I do think some of the things she's saying should be kept to herself. I.e. the whole soulmate thing. I'm not a fan of that, but then equally, I'm not in their relationship. Clearly, they have come to a place where they can love each other as their person, but it's not romantic. And a lot of times in life, people condemn what they don't understand. And I can definitely say that I am part of that when it comes to their situation. I definitely condemned it because I don't understand it. And quite frankly, it's not for me to understand. It's not for any of us to understand. If they are okay with their situation and they are okay with how they're living their lives, then who are we? Whom are we to say that it's not right? Do you know what I mean? To be quite frank, Jada Pinkett has not said anything about their relationship in the 20-something years that they've been together. Or is it even 30-something years that they've been together? So the fact that she's come out now spilling all the tea and it is in relation to her book, it just makes sense. It makes sense that she would do that. I'm happy that they've put out all their business because it's something that I've learned from. One thing about everybody, you look at other people's lives, and one thing that I will always say to everybody is learn from their situation. And what I have learned from this situation is that I personally will not be putting my marriage out there. This is a disclaimer for the world, okay? I'm not speaking about my marriage. In my book, in my show, in my life, I'm not speaking about it. People, when you start speaking about your relationship, you invite different opinions, and I ain't got time for that because too many hands spoil the broth or the pot or whatever it is, you know? But the Smiths have spoken. They're staying together. He said, that's my woman and I'ma stick beside her. So all of you can shut the fuck up, basically. But I've ordered the book, Worthy. I cannot wait to read it. I cannot wait to give you guys the lowdown, the gist on what's going on. They have literally told us to mind your motherfucking business and buy the book. So that's what I'm going to do. Welcome to this part of the show called Ask Auntie Mide, where I will be responding to dilemmas that you guys send in. But this week it is different because I have decided to expand this part of the show. So if there's like a controversial topic that has happened, I will be giving my opinion on it, responding to it. And this is what we're about to do this week. So this lady went on a first date and he took her to Cheesecake Factory where she proceeded to record the conversation and basically speak about how disappointed she was. She didn't understand why he was taking her to Cheesecake Factory. She thinks it's awful. For me personally, I think her behavior was disgusting. It is giving entitled, it is giving delusional, it is giving horrible. It is just not very nice attributes to be displaying. First of all, Cheesecake Factory is not a bad restaurant to go to. It's actually very nice. I have thoroughly enjoyed every single time I've gone to Cheesecake Factory. They give good portions. Their food is very well seasoned. They have a variety of meals on their menu. And it's quite a fun atmosphere. So I'm not really sure why she was shitting on Cheesecake Factory. Hey, Cheesecake Factory, if you want to sponsor me, yes, plugging myself as per. But Cheesecake Factory is a delight. I love it. So I'm not really sure what the issue with Cheesecake Factory is. She's saying that on a first date, that's not where you should be going. First of all, she wasn't even dressed for somebody that wanted to go to a high-end restaurant. You were dressed like you wanted to go to Cheesecake Factory anyway. And I mean this with all due respect. It was very casual clothing. Her makeup was very casual to me. It wasn't giving high-end. It wasn't giving luxury to me. So I was a bit confused by that. My advice to this woman and to women that kind of have that disposition is, when you continue to act like that, you set your own path for loneliness. And I'm not saying this in a way where you should lower your standards. God forbid. Never lower your standards, ever. However, be practical as well and allow yourself to explore different things. In my opinion, I think she should have gone on the date, explored the man, spent time with him, got to know him, and seen if it was a yay or nay. He was really nice as well. He got out of the car. He was like, I'm going to open the door for you. He was showing chivalry, and she was just shitting on him every opportunity she got. And to be honest, I don't understand why she was even recording it. That's cringe as fuck. Why are you recording it? Hey guys, this man has taken me to Cheesecake Factory, and like, oh my God, this is just horrible. Ew. That reflects badly on you, Miss Ma'am. It doesn't look good on you. You look pompous, you look entitled, you look arrogant, and then because you're showing those attributes outwardly, then everyone's gonna start judging you for your appearance. That's just how the world is. When you start showing attributes of you being ugly, then they automatically go to for your looks. Then it'll be like, because a lot of people were doing that in the comments, like, look who's even talking. Look who's even saying these things. Not my words, by the way. This is what people were saying in the comments. And I just think that going on a first date to Cheesecake Factory is not a bad thing. In fact, it's something that I personally would have loved. Ladies, don't set your standards low, God forbid, but also be nice and be polite and be kind when people are trying to date you. When you have this, you're taking me to Cheesecake Factory. Ugh. When you put that out, that energy, you're just going to invite negative energy back. You're just going to invite people that don't respect you or just want to use you for either sex, or they just think, oh, let me try and get this girl. They're just not going to respect you, in my personal, humble, and usually accurate opinion. If you want to send me any dilemmas, then message me, Mide Show Official, and I will be sure to get back to you. Okay. This week's shout out of the week goes to AJ Odudu, who is the newest co-presenter on Big Brother UK. Now, the reason why AJ Odudu gets the shout out, not only because she's a stunning black woman, but she has been giving us looks upon looks upon looks every single time. And listen, she has not missed yet. Shout out to Remy Lade as well, who is her hairstylist and a personal friend of mine. Yes, girl, you are killing it. And I'm always going to shout out every single black person. Who are you rooting for? Everybody black. Her. She looks absolutely amazing, and I'm wishing her all the best. I love to see black people on my screens. Big Brother it's doing all right. Like, I'm not really into it just yet. It hasn't captivated me, but I will continue watching, and then I'll be able to give you guys the gist and give you guys, like, the lowdown on what's happening. But we have to give it up for Miss AJ. Girl! She's eating! In the words of Miss Erica Kane on TikTok, you are taking it, honey. She looks very, very good. But that's it for this week's shout out. It for the show, people. It has been amazing giving you guys the gist, giving you guys fit check, giving you guys Ask Auntie Mide. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to share this page. Don't forget to comment below, guys. I really want us to get into conversations and speak about different things. It has been amazing as per usual. Yeah, let's grow this platform. Have an amazing week. The glory of the Lord is your portion and strength forever. Amen. Be blessed. Stay beautiful. And I love you. Bye.